Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin tonight with breaking news. North Dakota Governor Jack Dalrymple signed an emergency evacuation order today out of concern for the safety of people who are camping on U.S. Army Corps of Engineers land in southern Morton County, protesting the Dakota Access Pipeline. Good evening and thank you for joining us. The emergency order addresses safety concerns and the potential danger to human life for those camping on federal property without proper shelter during harsh winter conditions. Dalrymple notes that the Corps has required campers to vacate the federal property for safety reasons. The governor's order says the unpermitted campsites are not zoned for dwellings suitable for living in winter conditions and do not provide proper sanitation infrastructure to sustain a living environment that's consistent with proper public health. And the snow is coming. It's here in many places. This was the scene today in Bismarck. Some places saw more than 7 inches. Here in the valley, we were a little luckier, just gray skies and rain for us. Let's toss it over to meteorologist Justin Fanfarelli for a closer look outside. Justin?
And thank you, Andrea, and good evening, everybody. Yeah, temperatures right now are above freezing in most places. 37 Fargo and Grand Forks, into Northland, Minnesota, lower 40s, Lakes Country, 36 degrees from Fergus Falls down to Detroit Lakes, and out toward the Jamestown Valley City Devils Lake area. Temperatures are a couple of degrees above freezing right now. We are seeing the heaviest rain right now between Fargo and Grand Forks, with a clearer slot just to the south and to the west of Fargo, but just to the west of Jamestown, to the west of Devils Lake, we are seeing a mix of some rain and snow turning to all snow, and that's what they're seeing into central and western North Dakota. We are going to see rain as we go through this evening, on and off, possibly mixed with some snow showers as we go through the next few hours or so, as temperatures fall back into the mid-30s. We'll take a look at what they're seeing in western North Dakota, and we'll have the full forecast coming up later in the newscast.
All right, thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
And the North Dakota Department of Transportation and the North Dakota Highway Patrol have extended the travel alert to include portions of the Northwest, including Newtown, Bow Bells, Stanley, and Tioga. Those areas are seeing snow and blowing snow, and that's creating reduced visibility and areas of compacted snow or ice on roadways. The DOT says you can still travel these roads, but they're asking you to reduce your speed. For all the latest travel conditions, head to valleynewslive.com and click on the Hot button. We're learning new details as police continue to investigate what exactly led a man to drive his car into a South Fargo restaurant earlier this month. Court documents say on November 22nd, a woman called dispatch saying she was in the parking lot of the Osgood Hornbachers and believed her boyfriend, 27-year-old Matthew Aventi, was dead. She said Aventi was in a gold Buick parked in front of Extreme PETA when officers were en route. It was determined that Aventi was indeed still breathing and that he had driven his car into the building. When police got to the scene, they saw this, along with numerous needles in the car. Aventi's girlfriend told police he used heroin several hours before the crash. She says she administered a shot of Narcan. He then regained consciousness, but when the girlfriend saw the lights and sirens, she took off. Aventi was arrested on charges of DUI, reckless endangerment, and felony possession of drug paraphernalia. Moorhead police have identified a man found dead inside his apartment after an overnight standoff. 28-year-old Thomas Scheibel died from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. His body was taken to the Ramsey County Medical Examiner's office for an official cause of death. Police were called to the 1900 block of 20th Street South in Moorhead around midnight after a woman reported a domestic disturbance. She was able to make it out of the apartment okay, but police were in a standoff with Scheibel until about 2:30 in the morning. The SWAT team entered around that time and they found Scheibel's body. Tune in tonight to Valley News Live at 9 on the CW and 10 at 10 for more on how exactly police officers prepare themselves to respond to domestic disturbance calls like this one. The search continues for 17-year-old Jeremy Jourdain from northern Minnesota after searches of 2 lakes turned up no clues. Jourdain was last seen in Bemidji around midnight on October 31st. On November 25th, Bemidji police worked with Valley Water Rescue to search the south shoreline of Lake Bemidji and the east side of Lake Irvine with a canine. And on November 27th, the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office used a side-scan sonar unit which examined the bottom of both lakes. There were no signs of Jourdain found during either search. Jeremy Jourdain is described as a Native American male who is 6 foot 4 inches tall and weighs around 175 pounds. He has short, dark brown hair and brown eyes. He was wearing a blue and gray hooded sweatshirt and blue jeans when he was last seen. If you have had any sort of contact with Jourdain since November 1st, you are asked to call police. One man is dead, identified as a Somali refugee, and at least 9 others are hurt after a brazen attack on a college campus. It happened at The Ohio State University in Columbus. Police say some victims were slashed with a knife, others were hit by a car. And tonight we know the attacker is dead. What we don't know is a motive for the attack. NBC's Chris Pallone has the story.
Mid-morning, calm, and then chaos at one of the nation's largest college campuses, Ohio State University.
I was going to class and just saw people were running and was nervous.
It was originally reported as an active shooter situation, but witnesses say a fire alarm caused a crowd to gather outside an engineering building. That's when a man in a car jumped the sidewalk and plowed into them.
Someone came through, hitting them with their car, hitting people with the car.
Police say the man got out of the car and attacked bystanders with a butcher knife.
We heard the chaos, shouts, screams, shots, that kind of thing.
An officer confronted the attacker, then shot and killed him.
He engaged the suspect and he eliminated the threat.
Law enforcement sources tell NBC News that the attacker was an 18-year-old Somali living in the U.S. legally, a student at Ohio State named Abdul Razak Ali Artan. They believe the attack was intentional. Now they're trying to figure out why.
This was done on purpose, to go over the curb and strike pedestrians and then get out and start striking them with a knife. That was on purpose.
All victims are expected to survive, though the emotional wounds might take longer to heal.
It's not real. You go numb. It's not supposed to happen.
Classes at Ohio State have been canceled for the day as the investigation continues. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
We'll have the latest on today's events tonight on Valley News Live at 9 on the CW and on Valley News Live 10 at 10. An accountant has admitted to stealing at least $3.1 million from Cargill, a Minnesota-based grain shipping company. Diane Backus of Athens, New York, pleaded guilty today in federal court to mail fraud and filing a false income tax return. U.S. Attorney Richard Hartunian says Backus not only stole from Cargill, but also caused at least $25 million in losses to the Minnetonka-based company by manipulating customer invoices and payments. She faces up to 20 years in prison when she's sentenced on March 28th. It will be 3 years ago next month that a crude oil train accident and explosion rocked and shocked residents of Castleton. Now, a UND engineering professor has been consulting Congress about the safety of crude oil trains. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson talks with Professor George Bible about what's being done to protect our communities from crude oil train accidents.
When this crude oil train derailed and exploded at Castleton, it seemed to be a miracle that no one was injured. However, it did put the focus on just how dangerous all those crude oil trains can be. UND engineering professor George Bible says several safety regulations have been put in place, including more track inspections that should make crude oil trains relatively safe.
They've made adjustments to make them safer. There's a lot of little things they can do on the edges to make them significantly safer. In fact, in my book, I kind of track the history of hazmat shipments and the improvements they make. They do more inspections of the track, train. They can reroute things to avoid people and waterways.
In fact, Bible was recently called on by Congress to consult on new laws that require electronic brakes on crude oil trains. Supposedly, those type of brakes can stop trains faster if it derails.
I'm sympathetic to the industry's point of view, that it doesn't make that big a difference, but it's still subject to debate.
Bible says the bottom line in all this is you can never guarantee accident-free crude oil trains. Bible says pipelines are the safest way to transport oil. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Production and traffic of North Dakota crude oil is expected to pick up speed again under the Trump administration. The first commercial flight from the United States to Havana in more than 50 years landed in Cuba today. The arrival came as the island begins a week of memorial services for leader Fidel Castro, who passed away last Friday at the age of 90. For years, U.S. travelers to the island have had to go through burdensome charter flights with 4-hour check-ins. The U.S. and Cuba signed a deal in February to restore commercial air traffic, marking one of the most important developments since Presidents Raul Castro and Barack Obama announced they would restore diplomatic relations nearly 2 years ago. And simultaneous 21-gun salutes sounded in Havana today for the late communist dictator, Fidel Castro. Soldiers participated in the event, saying they will defend the ideas of their commander and the Cuban Revolution at any cost. On Wednesday, Castro's ashes will begin a 3-day procession east across Cuba, retracing the march of his bearded rebel army from the Sierra Maestra Mountains to the capital. The man charged with killing 9 black parishioners inside a South Carolina church will represent himself during his federal trial. The judge ruled Dylan Roof can act as his own lawyer, while calling Roof's request to represent himself unwise. Lawyers will be in court to advise Roof during proceedings. Jury selection resumed today after the judge's ruling, a process expected to take weeks. Roof could face the death penalty if convicted. Do you or your kids need some training on how to operate a snowmobile? If so, you're in luck. The Clay County Trailblazers Snowmobile Club will be holding snowmobile safety classes at the Moorhead Senior High School on Saturday, December 17th, from 8 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. There is no need to bring your own sled, as several will be provided for the class. For a list of requirements and information on how you can register, head to valleynewslive.com and click on the Hot button. Yet another Thanksgiving has come and gone, and now the March for Christmas is on. And you can get into the holiday spirit this weekend at Bonanzaville. The Christmas on the Prairie is this Saturday, December 3rd, from 10 in the morning until 5. There are 1900s themed events like horse-drawn wagon rides, or you can make a Christmas card on an old printing press. And of course, Santa will be there, and there will be carolers throughout the village. It's $3 for kids, $5 for adults. And then later that night, you can pay a little extra for a Christmas dinner and concert featuring the Oak Grove Choir. That gets going at 5:30 p.m. It just might be the power lacing shoe of your dreams, but they come with a hefty price tag. The sneakers that can tie themselves. Still ahead tonight.
And here's a look at our tower cam from our sister station in Minot. As you can see already, several inches of snow has fallen, leaving the roads covered with snow. So I'll tell you what it looks like for us coming up.